Welcome, Age of Vintage Society. Stocky supporting actor who won an Oscar when he was cast against type as a lonely butcher in Marty, with his coarsely podgy features, bug eyes, gap-toothed grin and stocky build, Ernest Borgnine seemed destined to remain one of nature's supporting actors in a string of menacing parts. Instead, he won an Oscar for a role which was the antithesis of all his previous characters. How was Ernest Borgnine, Mr. Ugly, the biggest womanizer in Hollywood? Make sure to watch the video until the end and leave your thoughts in the comments. If you are new here, join our wonderful community by subscribing to the Age of Vintage channel. How Mr. Ugly got the girl. The stormy love life of Ernest Borgnine, who counted 2 movie stars among his 5 wives. Ernest Borgnine, original name Hermes Ephron Borgnino, born January the 24th, 1917, Hamden, Connecticut. American actor whose portly physique and coarse features made him a commanding presence in scores of films and television productions, in which he skillfully portrayed characters ranging from brutish thugs to hapless everymen. Borgnino was born to Italian immigrant parents. His father Camillo was a railroad brakeman and his mother Anna was said to be the daughter of a count. Ernest's parents separated when he was 2, and his mother took him to live in Italy for a few years before returning to Connecticut to finish school. The Borgninos later reconciled and changed the family name to Borgnine. He worked as a vegetable truck driver for a few weeks before enlisting in the Navy as an apprentice seaman. After graduating from high school in 1935, Borgnine served in the US Navy for 6 years and then re-enlisted once the United States entered World War II, rising to the rank of gunner's mate first class by the time of his discharge in 1945. After his stint in World War II, Borgnine returned home unsure of what he was going to do. It was his mother who gave him the idea to go into acting when she told him, "You're always making a fool of yourself in front of people." That comment turned into a career that lasted over 6 decades and for more than 115 movies. Initially ambivalent about his civilian career prospects, Borgnine pursued acting at the encouragement of his mother, taking advantage of the GI Bill to study for 6 months at the Randall School in Hartford, Connecticut. In 1946 he joined the Barter Theatre in Abingdon, Virginia, where he worked backstage before earning roles in more than a dozen productions. He was noted for his gruff but calm voice, Machiavellian eyebrows and gap-toothed Cheshire cat grin. The famed actor didn't start until age 34, but he still had one of the longest and most interesting acting careers in Hollywood history, 61 years. In 1949, Borgnine made his Broadway debut in the comedy Harvey, which led to further work on stage as well as in the burgeoning medium of television. He embarked on a film career with a role as a factory foreman in the docudrama The Whistle at Eaton Falls, but he did not receive significant attention until his performance as the belligerent jailer Fatso Judson in the widely praised military drama From Here to Eternity. Thereafter, Borgnine appeared in similarly menacing supporting parts in several high-profile films, including the westerns Johnny Guitar, Vera Cruz, and Bad Day at Black Rock. In 1955, however, he starred in the romantic drama Marty, an adaptation of a television drama written by Paddy Chayefsky. For his against-type performance as a lonesome, kind-hearted butcher, Borgnine received numerous accolades, including the Academy Award for Best Actor. Borgnine was comfortable playing the heavy and was called upon to do so throughout his movie career. It was common to see Ernie playing tough military roles or gruff police officers. Ironically, it was his role as a shy, big-hearted Bronx butcher that earned him the recognition of his peers. Playing Marty Piletti in Delbert Mann's Marty earned Borgnine the Academy Award for Best Actor. During his acceptance speech, Borgnine thanked his mother for giving him the idea to go into the acting profession. His portrayal of Marty also opened the door to leading man roles. The crumpled cheeks, the gap in the teeth, the stocky physique to match. It was also memorably unattractive that he was nicknamed Mr. Ugly, but he didn't let that hold him back. "You don't have to be tall, dark and handsome to be a movie star," he used to say, "but I was the first one to prove it." He also proved that you did not have to have orthodox looks to get the girl. In real life, Borgnine got a succession of them and married 5 times, twice to huge stars, the Mexican firebrand Katie Gerardo, who seems to have been in all the best Hollywood westerns, and the booming and vivacious Broadway songstress Ethel Merman. Both brought out the very worst in him, spurring him to the same physical fights and outrageous outbursts that made him a success on screen. "I do have a temper," he conceded. "Sometimes people make me mad." His jowly and menacing looks did him proud in film after film. In the war movie From Here to Eternity he played the vicious Sergeant Fatso Judson, who beat Frank Sinatra to death. In The Greatest he played the boxer Muhammad Ali's manager. Villains, tough men, the roles kept coming. He was a hit in The Vikings, Barabbas, The Dirty Dozen, The Wild Bunch and many more. Sooner or later there comes a point in a man's life when he's got to face some facts. His character Marty movingly tells his stage mother at one point in the film. And one fact I gotta face is that, whatever it is that women like, I ain't got it. I chased after enough girls in my life, I went to enough dances, I got hurt enough, I don't want to get hurt no more. Despite everything, Marty finally gets the nice but plain girl in the shape of Gene Kelly's first wife, actress Betsy Blair. Audiences loved the film and its romantic message. The low-budget production, it cost no more than £250,000, was hailed as Best Picture of 1955. As the beautiful Grace Kelly handed him the prized award, Mr. Ugly realised he was now in the big league, but he also recognised almost immediately that fame would play havoc with his private life. "The Oscar made me a star, and I'm grateful," he said later, "but I feel had I not won the Oscar, I wouldn't have got into the messes I did in my personal life." His first mistake was fiery actress Katie Gerardo, with her hooded eyes, pillow lips and ample bust. She memorably played Gary Cooper's ex-mistress in High Noon. The couple met when they were cast in a torrid love scene in The Badlanders in 1958. Borgnine was immediately hooked, and soon they were driving to Mexico to get hitched, next to Gerardo's swimming pool in Cuernavaca. She came from one of the wealthiest families in Mexico, which had once owned all of what is now Texas. Within a year the volatile marriage was in trouble, and they separated after a vicious quarrel at their first anniversary party. "Yes, we fought, real knock-and-down, brawling fights," she later remembered. "But he's Italian and I'm Mexican, and that's the way we Latins behave." Borgnine's second mistake was Ethel Merman, the gravel-voiced comedy queen of Broadway, best known for her role in Gypsy. Ethel was right at the top of her game when she met Borgnine at a cocktail party during his long dragged-out divorce from Gerardo. 7 years older than the portly star, thrice married herself and newly divorced from the president of Continental Airlines, the woman known as Hitler by the dancers in her shows because of her authoritarian manner, told everyone who asked about her new fling, "I've never really been in love before." Borgnine countered by saying, "Love at first sight is no myth. Wham! That's it. I'm as happy as a bug in a rug. This will last forever. You can bet your last dime on it." All this lovey-dovey language was reflected in their 1964 Hollywood wedding, celebrated in the back garden of Borgnine's home the minute he was free from Gerardo. Less than 6 weeks later, it was all over, bar some vicious fighting once more. The first sign came when, on their return, Ethel was spotted coming out of their house with a bruised cheek. She told her friend, comedy star Lucille Ball, "Ernie has the most terrible temper. When he's mad, he smashes everything in sight. I can't live like that." Ernie retorted, "If you don't like the way I live, you can lump it," and filed for divorce. Sometime later she was able to make the driest of jokes about their unhappy union. If you blinked, you missed it. While Ernie himself commented, "I was married to a lovely lady who was a star. I was married to her for 32 days, and that was enough." Mr. Ugly tied the knot with one-time child actress Donna Rancourt, with whom he had another daughter and a son. But in 1973, Borgnine married for the 5th time. His bride this time was Norwegian-born Las Vegas beauty salon owner Tove Tresnæs. 24 years his junior, and they were to enjoy 38 years of happiness together. "It has lasted longer than all of my marriages put together. Each of my previous wives, even those who were not actresses, put on dark glasses and became more of a star than I was. American women have a great tendency to become the trouser wearers of the family, but Tove is modest and gentle." A businesswoman in her own right, she also manufactured and sold her own beauty products, and used the example of what she said was, thanks to her husband's own rejuvenated face in her adverts. Because, despite his advancing years, the irrepressible Borgnine never gave in. For many years, in addition to the parts that kept coming, he had been driving a bus round the country getting to know, he said fondly, the American people. That had to stop when he was 88, but still he kept acting. "I just want to do more work," he said. "Every time I step in front of a camera, I feel young again. I don't care whether a role is 10 minutes long or 2 hours, and I don't care whether my name is up there on top either. Matter of fact, I'd rather have someone else get top billing than if the picture bombs, he gets the blame, not me." Borgnine maintained a prolific output in the late 20th century and into the 21st century. In addition to his film work, he continued to appear on television, with supporting parts in the action-adventure series Airwolf and the sitcom The Single Guy, and, from 1999, a recurring role on the children's cartoon SpongeBob SquarePants. Ernest Borgnine won a new generation on SpongeBob SquarePants. Though the height of Borgnine's critical acclaim peaked decades earlier, the actor found a renewed fan base among kids of all ages through his work on the Nickelodeon series. In 2010, he told the Television Academy Foundation about a recent speech he gave at the National Press Club, followed by a meet and greet with a group of Girl Scouts. "I asked the girls, 'How many of you have seen my pictures?' he recalled. They said nothing. Zilch. Suddenly I had a brainstorm. I said, 'How many of you know SpongeBob?' Yes? I said, 'Well, I happen to play Mermaid Man.' I was in." As for Mermaid Man's distinctive delivery of the word evil, even Borgnine can't quite say. He told the interviewer, "My voice cracked when I was saying evil, and I said, 'By golly, we started something.'" If you liked this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you are new here, and if you want to support my work, please visit my Patreon page. Now it is your turn. What do you think it would be like to run into Hollywood as Mr. Ugly? Do you think Ernest Borgnine was successful with women because he was ugly?